Okay, guys. Right, so busy morning. I'm still working on my wife's car. It's outside the front. I kept an old t-shirt on because I've been doing stuff bit by bit. We're getting there. The main thing is it is good enough to drive. It's mainly cleaning and other little bits and bobs. But I'm definitely getting my head around the problem. Now, work the problem. My brother says, work the problem. Yeah, rather than letting it bother you. Okay, so defending Elvis Presley. Fans want the truth. Hi, Pamela. So, I haven't picked a topic. What I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go to the stuff that's being sent to me by you guys, and I'm gonna just click on it and go from there. So I've been sent a few things. Now, one of the things is obviously the sort of new footage that's been found about Elvis Presley. I think, was it 1956 footage, never seen before? I think him on a movie set. Problem I've got is when I play the news clip, YouTube blocks it. So what I thought I would do is see if anyone else is playing Elvis Presley newly. I thought I'd do it with you guys. We can learn together. Found footage and just see if anyone's. Let's have a look. Go. No, it's not gonna work. Let's do it here. Now, there's a couple of things. I did post a short last night. Actually, thinking about it, I want to play that short first. So concerning Priscilla, I always say this, we're not a Priscilla hate channel. I don't hate Priscilla. I'm not trying to create hate, but we are exposing her lies and her wrongdoing to Elvis. We are defending Elvis. Unfortunately, Priscilla has done so many things to Elvis that are just wrong that we expose it. We're never about hate, ever. Right, so let's quickly have a look. If I did a little short, let's see if I can find it, guys. I'm surrounded by toys. I did a little short. Let me get your comments up. I'm trying to show you guys that Priscilla changes her story. That she does says one thing, does another. So does one thing, does yeah. And I've found quite a few things that prove it. Yeah, like Garibaldi. I mean, people are trying to prove that, aren't they? Obviously, I don't know. It's possible. I definitely don't know. What are your views? I'm gonna get your messages up so I can play some videos while we're chatting. So if you look on here, it shows it here. See if you look. Let's have a look. Hang on a minute. Let me get the right one up. There it is there. Okay, let me just click on it. Click on it. And pause it. I want to get you guys up so you can chat. How is everyone? Okay, we'll give people a chance to join us as well. Defending. I was hoping to do one dog walk today as well. I'm still, yeah, the day's all a bit. Who we got? Hi Martha, hi Angie, Pamela. Right, let's have a look. Hi Karen. Okay, well I got myself a cup of tea. That's the important thing. Let's just play it, guys. So one of the things that Priscilla always says is, Elvis is the love of my life. Elvis is the love of my life. Here's an example. It should be on my Facebook. Let's have a look. Someone sent it me. Let's go to my comments. Is it? Let's just see if it's here. It should be. Right, here we go, guys. So let's listen. Let's listen to this. Is the volume on? Let's have a look. We need to turn the volume on. Go.
He was the love of my life. I left, and it wasn't because I didn't love him. He was the love of my life.
Okay, yeah.
I left, and it wasn't because I didn't love him. He was the love of my life. I left.
So we're going to read some of the comments on this post, but first I want to play you the short. Now, come on, guys, put it in the comments. Does anyone truly believe that Elvis was the love of Priscilla's life? Does anyone think that? I mean, she likes to think that she was the love of Elvis's life. Well, I think it's clearly obvious she wasn't, yeah? There's so many people that Elvis loved. Here's a good example. Anita Wood, yeah? It's clearly obvious that Elvis was not the love of her life, and vice versa. She wasn't the love of Elvis's life. Elvis had many other loves. So let me play the short. So what I'm trying to show you guys is she says one thing but does another. So, oh, Elvis is the love of my life. Suddenly, and more, I would say even more so in the last couple of years, Priscilla is really pushing that Elvis is the love of my life. Elvis, he's really, it's being said almost in every recent interview she's given. Like the Piers Morgan interview, for example, once she's talking to Piers Morgan, the interviewer, the journalist, the news guy, it very much is, oh, I still love him, you know, Elvis passed away and I had to pick up the pieces. It's very much, oh, you know, I had struggles with Lisa. It's very, oh, poor me, you know, I miss him. My life has never been the same since I lost him. Even though she walked out on him. She was unfaithful. There's no way he was the love of her life. The way she treated Elvis when she ran off with Mike Stone was disgusting. The way she was unfaithful with the dance instructor was disgusting. So all this love of my life stuff, yeah, I may even title this video, this live stream, Elvis is the love of my life. Just doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up. She's had many other boyfriends, but Marco Garibaldi Garcia, the guy who no one actually is his nationality. I think when she met him, he had one nationality, and then eventually he was a different nationality. So we don't really know what went on behind closed doors with Marco Garibaldi. Some people are like, where is he? Some people are saying he signed an NDA, non-disclosure order, where he is. So no one really knows where he is, do they? No one really knows why they split up. I know there's a lot of stories why they split up. That he was a bit of a crook, bit of a con man, allegedly, for entertainment purposes. What do you think, guys? Why do you think Marco Garibaldi and Priscilla split up? Right, let's have a look then. Yeah, Martha says, you don't cheat on the love of your life. There you go. Now let's play this. Have we got volume or not? I might have to put my other earphone on. Right, hang on a minute. It's not. Let me see. Hang on a minute, guys.
Her pregnancy was written into the storyline for.
Oh, I remember now. The beginning has no sound. I thought it was a bit confusing. Right, go.
Her pregnancy was written into the storyline for her character on the soap opera.
Now, in case you don't know, this is Spotlight Spy. She doesn't seem to be making any videos at the moment. One of my favorite YouTube channels, Defending Elvis, exposing the wrongdoing of Priscilla, defending Lisa Marie Presley. She's brilliant. I highly recommend people subscribe to this channel, Spotlight Spy. She's amazing. I don't know why she stopped making videos, but I really like her videos. In fact, we'll probably look at a few of them today. So let's keep going.
So in 1986, she was quoted as saying, "Since we've been living together, Marco has changed my life. I don't take things so seriously. I find myself laughing."
This guy you're with has to be strong.
Very strong. He's his own person. Very secure, very solid. He's very understanding. And it's been good for me. It's the only relationship that I've had that's really been that solid.
This was in 1986, and 1986 was 9 years after the death of Elvis Presley. So, wow, I can't believe that it was early. 1986 doesn't seem so long ago. So, according to news.
So, let me just play that one little small bit that she says, then we'll say something. Then I want to just show you guys that this whole new thing that's happening, I think, over the last few years of, I still love Elvis, he's the love of my life, It's almost like she thinks the public are stupid and think they're still together and were still together when he passed. It's almost like she hopes that the public don't even remember that they actually divorced nearly 5 years before he died. It's almost like the public, she wants the public to think that they were married until the day Elvis died. It's like that. Yeah? So she honestly, I think she thinks we're very gullible. Yeah, she can basically say what she wants and the public just fall for it. And I think she's right. I think there is a general thing around the world with with non-Elvis fans mainly, and Priscilla fans, I would say, that they were still together. And then Elvis died because he was unfaithful. And Elvis, let me rephrase that. She struggled because Elvis was unfaithful as a single parent. Get it? And then the other myth is that they never divorced. Some of the public think they didn't divorce. But then the other thing is, well, they only split up because Elvis was unfaithful. Yeah? Then it's like, oh, Elvis died because he had a problem with drugs. You get it, guys? The public don't really know. Now, you and me, we know. Elvis fans, we know. Bottom line is, Elvis lived as a single man, really, until they got engaged around 1966. Then everything calmed down. Elvis got engaged, married. Obviously, Priscilla got pregnant almost straight away. And then within months, Priscilla was unfaithful with Steve Peck, the dance instructor, which is she's admitted in this book on page 262. She calls him Mutt. Then, according to Priscilla's version of events, Elvis was unfaithful, started taking drugs, and died. That's how she wants us to see it. The truth is, she was unfaithful a couple of times after the marriage. Yes, Elvis did have a problem with prescribed medication. Yes, before they got married, Elvis lived as a single man. We have to be fair here. We want to, warts and all, let's be honest. So she has played the poor widow. Either, there's two versions. She has either played the poor widow, or she has played, we were still married when he died. Yeah? So let me just get this video back up a minute. 1 second. Let's so you can see it, okay? Right, okay. So you get what I'm saying? What I'm trying to say, guys, I'm struggling a bit how to explain it. That the game she plays is really that her and Elvis were always deeply in love, and the only thing that got in the way was that he died. Yeah? There's no mention of the unfaithfulness, the divorce, the very serious divorce problems, divorce settlements. There's no mention of future boyfriends. Priscilla never talks about any of her boyfriends, does she? I can honestly say here, guys, do any of you, have you ever seen, I'm on about in the last 30 years, Priscilla mention another boyfriend? I'll wait for your comments on that, actually, because it's a big point I'm trying to make. Maybe longer. So we're in 2025. Can anyone, has Priscilla, except for when she was with Marco Garibaldi, has Priscilla ever mentioned any boyfriends? Ever? I'm on, after 1995. Hi, woman of Sparta. I believe he married her because he felt it was his duty after being with her from a young age. He was very decent man. I don't think it was a great love story. So, hi, woman of Sparta. Now, when you say, can I ask you, woman of Sparta, because this is a big thing for me. What age do you think Elvis was with Priscilla? Can I ask you that, woman of Sparta? Because I want to make a point of it. Woman, welcome to Team Elvis. What age do you think Elvis was with Priscilla? This is important, guys. Yeah? Can any of you guys also answer that question? Right. Julie, Priscilla Denuso, she left Elvis. Elvis didn't leave her, and she left him for another man. 100%. 100%. That is true. Yeah? Innit? Now, I'm not going to whitewash Priscilla and Elvis. Elvis made mistakes. Come on, Elvis lived as a single man right up until they got engaged. So that will have, of course, that will have had an impact on Priscilla. I know the first thing you guys will say, oh, she knew what she was getting into. I agree with that point. She did. And she moved over to America. She knew she was moving in with the most famous man on the planet. So she did know what she was getting into, but it doesn't mean that it wasn't hard. Come on, we must, please, do we accept that when Priscilla first moved to America around 1963, yeah, that Elvis seeing other girls must have been tough for her? Come on, we have to at least, yes or no? Right, so let's just read your comment. Yeah, there we are. Yeah, woman of Sparta. Yeah, thank you. Sorry, I've forgotten your name. Sorry, I'm terrible with names. So we have to, like woman of Sparta says. Now I'm gonna just break down that point. So they met briefly in Germany in 1959. She was 14. She met Elvis towards the end of his serving his duty for his country. Yeah. Now, no one really has got the actual date that they were friendly for between 2 and 6 months. No one actually knows, do they? There's different opinions. Friendly, yeah. Now, the story is that Elvis could only speak to Priscilla because she was English speaking, and she would listen to his concerns about his mum, about his future, about him being forgotten, about his movie career, and things like that, yeah? This is the story that we're told. It's all very romantic. Remember, we're all a bit brainwashed. It's all very romantic. Oh, yeah, Elvis met Priscilla in 1959 and they hit it off, and she was the only girl he could talk to, and they would go upstairs and kiss and cuddle, and he could only talk about his mum because he'd lost his mum earlier, as long as a year earlier. And Priscilla, Elvis could only trusted Priscilla, and he could pour his heart out to Priscilla. This is the story that we're fed, yeah? This is how I would say majority of fans believe that's how it was. Now, I see it differently, yeah? I see it differently, guys. She briefly met him for a few months, up to 6 months maximum. Obviously, Elvis in 1960 went back to do GI Blues and the Frank Sinatra show. But people must remember, and this is for Woman of Sparta, Elvis was seeing other people. It's proven. Elvis in Germany was seeing other people, other women. Oh, we know that Anita Wood was waiting for him back home, and Elvis was with Anita Wood until 1962. On and off, but he was seeing other people. Yeah, Elvis wasn't ready to be with one girl at all. Nowhere near. From the minute Elvis got famous, he was not ready to be with one girl. So my point is, your comment, Woman of Sparta, was, oh, Elvis felt a duty to marry Priscilla because she was with him from a young age. Well, maybe she wasn't. Let's think about it. So this is an open debate, okay, guys? So Elvis briefly meets Priscilla. They might have become good friends. Who knows? Maybe I don't really know what happened behind closed doors. No one knows. Yeah, we weren't there. We don't know. Elvis was definitely seeing other women as well. Even the secretary of the house in Bad Nauheim. But and there's a woman called Helly, that's just a maybe, and other people, yeah. So Elvis moves back to America. Well, for a couple of years, he hardly spoke to her. No one really knows what actually happened. The pink envelope letters, you know, she was sending him records. These are things that we're told, yeah. There's no proof of the letters. There's no proof of the records that she was sending Elvis. But to me, my guess is she probably was writing to him. She could have been sending him records. There's a possibility of phone calls. Yeah, we don't know. There's no proof. Yeah, it's Priscilla's version. This is what I keep saying. It's Priscilla's version. So Elvis is living as a single man. He's in touch with Priscilla, vice versa. He could have spoken to the parents. Maybe, we don't know. Yeah. So then, nearly 18, Priscilla moves in with Elvis. Elvis is still seeing other people. Elvis is making his movies. Yeah. So Elvis was, you know, would get friendly with his co-stars. This is my point, guys. So they're still not really properly together, are they? Even when Priscilla is in America, in Graceland, and she's 18, 19, 20, they're not properly together. Elvis has this thing where he's still seeing other people like Anne Margaret, co-stars. There's rumors of a few different people, even still seeing Anita Wood. Yeah, 61, 62. Yeah. So when you say he met her, he was with her young. Well, what age do we put that to? So was he with her from 18 when she finally moved over? I don't know, because he was still living as a single man. Priscilla might have wanted him to be with her. Now, we don't know the complications. So age 18, age 19, age 20, Elvis is still seeing other people. Priscilla is with Elvis, obviously. So at what point do we class Priscilla as Elvis's girlfriend? This is the point I'm making to Woman of Sparta. At what point do we say that Priscilla is Elvis's girlfriend? At what point? Do we say it from when they got engaged in 1966, December? Do we, you know? And then there's a bit of a romance. I think the marriage date was postponed a couple of times. Or do we say that Priscilla was with Elvis from the moment she moved to Graceland? What, can you put it in the comments, guys? What do you think? When was Priscilla, when do you guys officially put an age to the Elvis and Priscilla becoming a couple, a proper couple, boyfriend, girlfriend? I'd be interested to know, what age will you give for that? Will you give the age of the engagement, the marriage, or before? Let's just quickly read some of your comments. So, he was a very decent man, definitely. Of course, I believe that, guys. But don't forget, he was a young, decent man. Remember, he was a human being like we are. He had temptations. He was no different. He super famous, very good looking. All women were in love with him. So he fancied girls. Yeah. A very young man in his 20s, late 20s. Yeah. So he fancied girls. He liked women. Yeah. He liked the company of women. So the question really within Woman of Martyr's comment is, why was the decision made to get married, to get engaged? Some people say it's because he made promises to the parents of Priscilla because of Colonel Tom Parker. Maybe even Vernon said something. Obviously, Elvis, like you just said, Elvis was a very decent man, a well-brought-up man, a Christian man. Maybe that was it. Maybe Elvis did make promises. Yeah? So, but I don't accept that Elvis was with Priscilla from 14. I would say Elvis was probably with Priscilla more from around 20, 19, 20. Then I think they're a couple and Elvis is being unfaithful. That's how I see it. But you tell me if you see it differently, guys. Priscilla thinks she doesn't mention her other boyfriends. She won't remember. Yeah, I do agree that the game that Priscilla plays is, there were no other men. I was married with Elvis till the day he died, and I've missed him ever since. I still love him. That's the game she plays. And she knows that the majority of the public that are not Elvis fans, but they are interested in Elvis, will just go along with it. She plays for the majority. So, for example, she's coming to England September the 23rd. Yeah? It'll be sold out. You'll have adoring Elvis fans all queuing up to watch Priscilla in her book tour. Yeah, in England. They will all be in love with the public image of Priscilla and Elvis. Yeah, in the 1960s. Priscilla and Elvis, they really loved each other. They went through so much, yeah. Let's all go and see Priscilla in these different theatres, etc., for her personal appearances. They're not interested in her unfaithfulness and how she treated Elvis with the divorce, how she treated Lisa Marie when Lisa Marie died, how she treated Riley. They're not interested. They just believe in the fairy tale that Elvis and Priscilla was so perfect. Get it, guys? This is the con. This is the con. I'll read your comments, guys. I do think it was tough for Priscilla, no doubt. I agree. Yeah, we can't ignore that. Come on. Beautiful Elvis. Priscilla's in Gracelands. Come on. It was tough, guys. I will be fair in how we defend. I will be fair. That doesn't mean I'm not angry and upset. No, angry is the wrong word. It doesn't mean I'm not going to expose the truth, the wrongdoing of Priscilla. So I definitely am going to. Yeah. Hi, Debbie. So Pamela, Elvis said 2 months before he left Germany. Well, he actually said a few months, didn't he? But that Pamela, there's a lot of different conversations about how long Priscilla knew Elvis in Germany. Yeah. And it's anywhere between 2 and 6 months. I actually don't know the actual truth. I don't know if anyone knows the truth. I'll get loads of messages now all telling me that it's been proved, blah, blah, blah. I don't think it has. I don't think anyone actually really knows, but it was up to 6 months. Why didn't she have a graduate at her school? Why rushed to move to Memphis graduate? All the sounds was pursued. So Debbie, that's a very common comment. Yeah. I can answer it. She wanted to be with Elvis. She wanted to be with Elvis. That's why. That's my answer. So did he marry her out of love then? Oh, that's a bloody good question. Woman of Sparta, that is a question. This is a tough one. Let me just think. I don't know if I can answer that. I'm not sure. Guys, you put it in the comments. I don't think I can clearly answer that because I don't know. I think it's 50-50. I think maybe, maybe not. Yeah? Remember, Elvis hadn't discovered the true Priscilla until after he got married. I really believe this. I believe there was two sides to Priscilla. There was the Priscilla, a young girl, fancies Elvis, wants to be around Graceland, loves the thought of living in Gracelands, and just adores Elvis. But then there's a whole different Priscilla that starts to think, oh, I'd like to be famous. I'd like to be rich. I'd like to be in business. I'd like to be a model. I'd like to be on TV. I'd like to make a movie. Yeah, I'd like to open a business. There's a different side to Priscilla that starts to come out after she gets a taste of fame. Get it? So once they've got married and engaged, a secret Priscilla is there. Yeah, waiting to pounce. Not the sweet, innocent girl that Elvis thought she was. Yeah? So, and this is the side of Priscilla that we expose. We expose her. Yeah? But we do it in a respectful way. No hate. So the answer to Woman of Sparta's comment is, I'm not sure. You guys, I'll ask you the question. Did Elvis marry for love? Was he in love when he got married, or was he pressured and forced into it? Don't forget, we've got evidence that Elvis was forced to get married. All right, my wife's here. Yeah. We've got evidence that Elvis was forced to get married. Okay? That he didn't want to get married. We've proved it. The Red West conversation, and many other little bits of information that we've got. So, hi, I've only been on for about 12 minutes, but how you going, all right? Nice bit of coffee?
Well, I made you buy one.
All right.
It was in the cafe.
All right, okay.
He wanted to serve me a coffee.
Oh, actually, well, I see. He
Because
serves.
he wanted to serve, I wasn't going to get a drink, but he wanted to serve me a coffee.
Yeah,
So I
of course.
had to buy one.
That's cute. So my son is doing a work experience at a gym. My wife's just gone there. My wife's just gone there, and let's have a look. That's cool. He's got his own one. Sorry, guys.
Thank you, sir.
Have you sent me that? Have you?
Yeah.
I might play it. That's really cute. Guys, always just sorry, I'm changing the subject. My wife's just gone to the gym. Our son is there. He's doing work experience, and he forced her to buy a coffee while he serves. So I think that's cute. Let me see if I can find it. That's really good. That I really like that. Right, are we ready, guys? My son doing his work experience. Don't worry. First of all, I'll show you the picture. So he's been there 4 days, is it? 5th day? It's a gym, and it's the cafe in the gym. Let's see. Let's have a look. Let's see if I can... Let's get the video up. Guys, I am going to get back on topic, don't worry.
Okay.
Right, I can make this thing work. Here we go. Is it nice coffee? So that's my son, guys, making a coffee at work. Is it nice?
No, the lids are over there. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Is it up to scratch?
Says you're welcome. There's the coffee. We have it in the hand. That's a nice caramel coffee. I want one now.
No, the lids are over there. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Is it up to scratch?
Right, back on topic. Back on topic, guys. So where are we? Let me just... Okay, let's go back to that. Let's go back to your comments. Sorry, guys, sidetracked by my wife. So let's have a look. So, okay. So, woman aspire. Elvis was pushed into marrying Priscilla. He didn't do it out of love, more obligation, I would say. Well, I don't think we know, do we, Julies? I think, you know, come on, he didn't hate her. He would have fancied her. They definitely knew each other very well. Now, was it love? I don't know. I can't answer that, but he did like her, guys. I don't care what anyone says. Elvis did like Priscilla. Yeah, he wasn't forced, like, you know, with a gun to his head. You will marry that girl. I think he was torn. This is what I think. He was torn. So he obviously liked other women. Obviously liked Anne Margaret. Yeah. He was torn between doing the right thing, because he was a good man, a good moral man. His feelings, I do think he had strong feelings for Priscilla. But I also think Elvis knew he liked other women, didn't want to get married. Get it, guys? Elvis wasn't ready to get married because he knew he fancied other women. He knew sometimes he would see other women. So it's very complicated. But I'm not going to say that he blatantly married a woman that he couldn't stand, or he thought she was ugly, or he had no feelings for her, because I think that's too extreme. He must have had feelings for Priscilla. Now, do I think they should have got married? Definitely not. She wasn't ready to get married. He wasn't ready to get married. She definitely was not ready to have a child. She was not ready to have a child. Elvis, when he found out he was going to have a child, he was really happy. So that's it, guys. That's, tell me your views. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Let's read the comments, guys. Priscilla was 22, Elvis was 32. She was nearly 22. She was 21. She was about Anita was out of the picture. I'd say that's when they were full-on couple. Yeah, okay. So Anita is out at 62. But you say full-on couple, but remember, Elvis was seeing other people. Yeah? There's even a rumor that Priscilla was unfaithful before the engagement. So it's just a rumor, but Elvis married Priscilla for one of two reasons. He had to, because he promised to her parents, or because Priscilla was pregnant. This has come up, hasn't it, guys? She could have been pregnant. We can't rule it out. I think that, put it in the comments, guys. Do you think she was pregnant? We've done a live stream on this. 100% she could have been pregnant. I've done the dates. We've matched up the dates. There's a lot of agreeing and disagreeing with the pregnant thing. I think it's possible. Definitely. Elvis and Priscilla had rushed marriage. I say Elvis was pressured to marry her by Priscilla's parents, or because Priscilla was... It was definitely rushed. It wasn't the perfect marriage that Elvis, I would have thought, would have wanted. Yeah? So, 100% it was rushed. I do believe that. I know that someone said to me that they had it where they had it, is at the Aladdin, because you could get a marriage certificate quicker. I read that somewhere. I was pressured to marry Priscilla's parents, or because Priscilla was... you try saying anything, they come back at you that you're jealous. It's hard. I'm trying to be very fair, but I'm also on Elvis's side. So it's not easy. It's interesting he mentioned her in that interview. I think he loved the person she made out to be. Yeah, I see that. So we know that Elvis, not just Elvis, any man in the 50s and 60s did not want to be with a girl that was sleeping around, that had a bad reputation. I do think Elvis believed that Priscilla was very sweet and innocent, a virgin, just a kind, loving, thoughtful girl. I do think Elvis saw a Priscilla that was very different than the real Priscilla. Would you?
Get code.
Yeah, I'm not really using it. I've just got it on charge. I'm finishing it. I'm just going to go for about 10 more minutes, and I'm going to... 15 more minutes, right. Let's have a look. Without doubt, Priscilla had been told how to act around Elvis at first, shy, but her personality eventually... Right, Karen, I won't say without doubt, but what I will say, because there is doubt, that this could be true, couldn't it, Karen? Yeah? This could be true. There could have been a premeditated plan for Priscilla to get Elvis, to trap Elvis. Elvis was caught in a trap. Could be true. But to say without doubt, we can't do that because we weren't there. We have to keep an open mind, but it's definitely possible. So yes, Karen says a completely different side of Priscilla comes out as she gets older. 100%. And that is the side of Priscilla that we are trying to expose to defend Elvis. Remember why we expose Priscilla? Not because we want to attack her or hate her. We expose her because we're defending Elvis and Lisa. Yeah? We don't feel that Elvis and Lisa and Riley have been treated right, and the twins. So how do we defend them? We expose Priscilla's wrongdoing. Yeah? Her lies. Her changing her story. You see? Thanks, Martha. Thanks. Yeah, he is cute. He's only 15. Right. Let's just let's have a look here. Hi Caroline, how are you? So the whole, without a doubt, that he was told how to act around it. Okay, obviously we know about Cary Grant. There's a chance, possibility that he taught her how to be around Elvis, how to look, how to do her hair, how to dress. We know about her copying hairstyles. Is it Deborah Paget? Is it Deborah Paget? I'm trying to remember now. The girl off the Lovely Tender film. So yeah, there's definitely a possibility that there was a plan to get Elvis. I'm 50-50 on it. I'm like, it's very possible. So Karen says, I believe by the time they got married that his feelings had, the way you word it, had faded. Yeah, I think it's very possible. I do think it's very possible that on the day of the wedding, that Elvis in his heart was like, what am I doing? What am I doing? Why is this happening? Should this be happening? Elvis had doubts. 100% on the day of the wedding, Elvis had doubts. 100%. 100%. I believe. Obviously, we can't say 100%. We weren't there. But yeah, from the different bits of research we've done, it does seem that really Elvis didn't want to get married. Wasn't ready for marriage. Now, why wasn't he ready? The main reason, he liked other girls. He liked other women. Come on. Yeah. That was the reason. It wasn't, I wouldn't say that the reason Elvis wasn't ready to get married was because of Priscilla. He just wasn't ready to get married. Just was not ready to get married. Yeah. To anyone, to any girl, even Anne Margaret wasn't ready. Yeah. Many of you won't want to hear that, but that's how I feel. She was not right for Elvis. Anne was a better choice for Elvis. You will never know the truth. Yeah, we'll never know the truth. I love Anne Margaret. And I actually do think Anne Margaret would have been better for Elvis. Put it in the comments, guys. Do you think Anne Margaret would have been better for Elvis? I definitely do. Yeah, I definitely think Elvis would have been much happier if he married Anne Margaret. If he was in love with her, he was in love with someone that didn't exist. She was a good actress, and then reeling him in. Yeah, and even that's possible. Even, Debbie, that's possible. Yeah, it's possible. We don't know, but it's possible. Yeah, 100% Priscilla had a side to her that didn't come out till later. 100%. And I actually think it got worse. I actually think the more we got to see Priscilla's dark side, she got worse. Greedy, manipulating, cunning, devious, capable of lying. Yeah. I personally think that Priscilla was very cruel to Elvis. I think the way Priscilla treated him by being unfaithful with the dance instructor, Steve Peck, just after Lisa Marie was born, was very cruel. I think the way she did the Mike Stone affair was very cruel. The way she left and took Lisa with her once she was discovered being unfaithful with Mike Stone, the karate champion, was very cruel. So, yeah, you get it, guys? Priscilla, eventually, we see the true Priscilla, and she's capable of some pretty nasty things, and she's still doing it now. We see it. That's what we talk about. Go on then. We see it, how she treated Lisa Marie after poor Lisa Marie passes, where she tries to go against the trust, the amendments in the trust, tries to stop the inheritance going all to Riley, Finley and Harper. She tries to get it for herself. She tries to revert the trust amendments back to 2010, where she would be, in charge, really. Yeah, we're talking about Gracelands, not EPE. Yeah. So, and we also see it just the way she treated Lisa. The way that Lisa really, to me, was abandoned. Scientology, summer camps, left with Michael Edwards, the alleged sexual abuser. Get it, guys? So we could talk all day about the neglect of Priscilla as a parent to Lisa, couldn't we? And we could say many other things that have happened, like the divorce settlements, etc., that are just bloody cruel, greedy. Yeah? Not very nice. Remember, Elvis was very sick. when these negotiations were happening, still happening for the second divorce settlement. She knew he was sick. She must have known how sick he was. She was still demanding more money. We know about the lien on Gracelands, the debt on Gracelands. We all know about it. This was still going on when Elvis was very sick, just before he died. We know that the book Elvis, What Happened was released at the same time. Priscilla must have known. When she says that, oh, I had phone calls with him a few days before he died, my guess is that they weren't getting on. My guess is they were arguing about lawyer type things to do with the debt, the money she was owed, her demanding more money. I'm guessing they were arguing about Lisa Marie. I don't think it was a pretty phone call 2 days before Elvis passed. I don't think that they were better apart. I don't think Priscilla and Elvis were better apart. I don't. I think, no, let me just... So what I'm trying to say is she tries to paint a picture that, oh yeah, you know, once we split up, we got on well, we were really close, we were still in love, you know. Maybe Elvis even wanted me back. We know that's not the case. We, as far as we were concerned, she wanted Elvis back. You get it, guys? So this is earlier on when they first split up, yeah? So all is not what it seems. Remember, I'm not an expert. I'm just a fan giving you my views. I could be wrong. Everything I say, I could be wrong. It's just opinions. Okay. So Mystic Werewolf. They are eternal soulmates. Who are we talking about? All right, here we are. We're talking about Anne Margaret. Yes, right, got it. Yeah, I agree with that. What a lovely way of putting it. Yep, thanks, Teresa. I definitely think Anne Margaret was better for Elvis. Yeah, I think we all do. Don't we all? You always marry your soulmate no matter what. Well, you hope to. You hope to, right? In my opinion, has multiple personalities. Yeah, all right, you're talking about Priscilla. Yeah, I see that. I see that. Pat. Anne would never hurt Elvis. I agree with that. Priscilla was a terrible parent. I'm the first to say that. And it does feel like a cult, doesn't it? Scientology does feel like a cult. That's a good question. When was the pregnancy announced? I don't know. That's something we could find out, isn't it, guys? But, you know, you do the timeline. She definitely could have been pregnant. We've looked it all up. We've broken it down. We've done it a few times. 100% she could have been pregnant. Yeah, Teresa says she didn't care that he was sick. Well, it's like she didn't notice. That's what I think. Unfortunately, a lot of people seem to have not noticed how sick Elvis was. And Margaret respected Elvis' privacy and kept most details of their relationship private. Meanwhile, Priscilla not only wrote a book, but helped produce a movie of Elvis private. I know. Mystic. We know. More than just a movie. She's done a lot of things. Priscilla has very carefully and subtly done a lot of damage to Elvis's image and reputation, not just in movies, not just in the book Elvis, in interviews where and in biographies and documentaries that she's supported. She's always played the victim. Always. She never tells the world what truly went on about different men. Her and Lisa. She doesn't, and her and Elvis. She doesn't tell the truth. It's a rewritten version of the truth, a reinvention of history. This is the problem. And the public are falling for it because they're so gullible. They're being brainwashed. Right, I've only got a couple of minutes left. Right. But I'm hoping to come back and do another live, guys. I think Elvis and Anne had passion as well. Of love. Yeah, I hope so. I like to think so. Mystic, what Elvis saw in Priscilla, I never know. Well, I don't agree with that. She was a beautiful lady. A very beautiful lady. Yeah, she was very beautiful for decades. So the fact that we're unhappy with her shouldn't taint the reality. She was a very beautiful woman. Yeah, that's what he saw in her. And then you know, then the friendship comes after, doesn't it, guys? Thanks, Julies. I do know. I know. I know when Lisa was born. I know when Elvis was married, but thank you. Right. Priscilla doesn't deserve the Presley last name. Well, my attitude with the last name is the minute they divorced, that's it. She should not have taken the name back. As far as we know, there was some kind of verbal agreement on the first divorce settlement. You know, it was never it was never a written thing, was it? It was just, they say for security purposes, she would stop using the name Presley. Yeah. She should never have taken the name back. They divorced, game over. The name should have been given up. Yeah. So 100%, I don't think Priscilla should be using the name Presley. 100%. Should not be using it. 100%. Hi, Matt. Unfortunately, I've got to go. I will just quickly read the last of the comments, though. Priscilla moved on and didn't care about Elvis or how he was. It does seem that way, yes, Pat. It does seem that way. Very cold. You can be very beautiful, but you can have a... Yeah, Pat, I agree. I agree that Priscilla, even though she was a good-looking woman, her heart, there's something not right. There's something not right. Yeah, the way she treated Elvis and Lisa during her life and after her life, something isn't right. Yes, I agree. I am talking about her personality. What did he see in her? Her heart. Yeah, but I'm sure, Mystic, I'm sure she could turn it on. She could be the very sweet, caring, loving, fun person. The side to Priscilla that turned against Elvis is a secret side. She can still be lovely, can't she? Yeah? Some of the nastiest people in the world, in history, I won't say names, were very nice to talk to, but they did the most evil things. Get it? So... Okay, so taking the Presley name back was her way of making money. Oh, yeah, 100%. Come on, that name is a credit card, is a debit card, isn't it? So we're going to end by just playing this little short clip, and here we go. 2 little clips. Then we're going to have to come back to a part 2. Okay, guys. So
Her pregnancy was written into the storyline for her character on the soap opera. So in 1986, she was quoted as saying, "Since we've been living together, Marco has changed my life. I don't take things so seriously. I find myself laughing."
This guy you're with has to be strong.
Very strong. He's his own person. Very secure, very solid. He's very understanding. And it's been good for me. It's the only relationship that I've had that's really, been that solid.
This was in 19.
See, so she completely contradicts herself. But then if you look at a very recent thing, let me just get it up. Where are we? Let's get it up, guys. So if we look at a very recent thing, let's have a look. Where are we? Here we go. If we look at a very recent thing, she plays on the whole Elvis is the love of my life.
I didn't love him. He was the love of my life. I left, and it wasn't because I didn't love him. He was the love of my life. I left, and it wasn't because I didn't love him. He was the love of my life.
You see, guys, she plays that game, and look at the body language, the expression on her face, the way she acts. She wants sympathy. She wants to almost be treated like the poor Priscilla that lost her husband. You see, this is the con. Elvis deserves better. So we're going to end it with a very lovely clip from Nancy Sinatra, and then I'm going to come back to a live probably in about half an hour. Yeah. So part 2 to this. Okay, guys, here goes.
A man of depth, including concern for children and the plight of black children in the world, and it makes me cry to think about it. He was so concerned for his fellow man, and he even told me once that maybe he should have been a preacher because he could have helped people that way. And I said, I don't agree. I think you've helped many more people this way. He was such a man of depth.
So that says it all, guys, doesn't it? Nancy Sinatra. I love Nancy Sinatra. She's lovely. She follows us as well. She does. She is aware of our channel. Nancy is. So a couple of comments. I think it was Pat mentions doing research about how Priscilla's mother was towards her. That's interesting. Obviously, it does discuss that in the book Child Bride. Yeah, she's definitely milking the Presley name. Big time for, 50 odd years. Yeah. She clearly loves making money. Come on, guys. She's very career-minded, loves making money, loves working, loves traveling. She's very driven, isn't she? Even at about to turn 80, she's very driven, 100%. I'm surprised she even needs money. I'm surprised, but she does seem to. Now remember, we're not a hate channel. We're not a Priscilla hate channel. We are an Elvis defending channel. We defend Elvis, Lisa, and the bloodline. I don't personally hate Priscilla. I don't have hate in me. I'm not capable of hate. But I obviously am an Elvis fan, a Lisa Marie fan. I massively support the bloodline of Elvis and Lisa Marie. So Riley, Finley, Harper. Of course, Gladys, Vernon, Benjamin. So we are going to expose Priscilla as well as other people and books and documentaries, biographies and movies. We are always going to expose all of this so that we can defend Elvis and his bloodline. It's what we're going to do, guys, but we're going to do it the right way. Okay, gotta go, guys, and hopefully I'll be back in half an hour for part 2. In half an hour, part 2. Take care, guys. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for all your comments. Really appreciate it. And